The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You pay tithes of mint and dill and cumin, and have neglected the weightier things of the law, judgment and mercy and fidelity. But these you should have done without neglecting the others. Blind guides, who strain out the gnat and swallow the camel. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You cleanse the outside of cup and dish, but inside they are full of plunder and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisee, cleanse first the inside of the cup, so that the outside also may be clean." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Hypocrisy is apparently one of the worst sins, because Jesus is not shouting about nothing like hypocrisy. And there is a reason, because hypocrisy is one of those obstacles in between us and God. And so God cannot reach you anymore. You know that hypocrite, comes from Latin and Greek as well. And this is a very complicated word. You know, it's not an easy meaning, the one that we are going to say about hypocrite. Hypocrite comes from hypocrite. Hypocrite is Greek. And well, hypocrite means nothing that actor. The actor that acts out in the theaters, right? Because it says hypocrisy, which means to talk, to speak under something, because you are wearing a mask. That's why you speak below, under something that is above, right? And this is that is above is covering you, is blocking you from being seen, but still you are talking, you are affirming. That's why there is this verb, the same verb that we have in hypocrite is krinomai, which is the same verb that we use for discernment. Discernment means decision. When you affirm something in your life, it's the same thing, but only you do undercover. That's why hypo, okay? So that hypo means that you are hiding. It is not exactly you, the thing that you are saying. There is a tricky, there is some lie. To explain this better, in order to understand why Jesus is so angry about today with us, is just trying to break something. When he says, blind Pharisee, you know? To understand that, I asked help to an Italian writer, a Sicilian writer actually, very important. You know, he received a Nobel Prize for Literature in 1934. And he is a writer that I hope you know, but maybe here in the States is not very well known. It's Luigi Pirandello. And if you don't know him, look for him. There are many, well, at least a couple of books very important, like the late Mattia Pascal. I remember I read that a long time ago. It really changes your life. And then the other masterpiece is One, No One, and 100,000. One, No One, and 100,000 is the title of a book. And why one, no one, and 100,000? Because you are one, Pirandello says. Yes, we are all one, we know. But if you talk with somebody else, with anybody else, you will see that this group of people will say that you are one person. And this other group of people, they say that you are another person. Some will say that you are an honest person. Some others say you are a funny person. Some others say, oh, yes, this is a man that I can rely on. Some other group of people will say the contrary. It depends the experience that they had with you, or mostly the prejudice that they have with you. What is that prejudice? It's a mask. So, Pirandello says, those people are putting on you a mask. And that is the way that they recognize you. Only when you are wearing that mask. That's why you are one, but you have 100,000 masks. Because with every person, you understand that you are like different, because the perception of the person is different of you. But you are not that. It's only a mask that you're wearing. And what happens? Pirandello says, if I don't want to wear that mask, I want to tell them who I really am, okay, so they will not recognize you. And so that's why no one, we will refuse you, we will reject you. What are you doing? What are you saying? This is not you, you're weird. How strange is what you're saying today. You're not wearing your usual mask. What is Jesus trying to say to the Pharisees? Take off your mask. Because if you don't take off your mask, if you are an hypocrite, God cannot help you. Because when you lie about yourself, what can God ever do for you? He would be willing to work a miracle for you, but you don't want. So we say that we are one, every one of us is one person, and nobody else. But at the end, only God knows who you are. Sometimes not even myself, I know who I am. I have to discover who I am. Because I keep on being the one that is accepted by everyone else. But not myself. Because I know that it's hard. Maybe I would like to be different. I have some inspiration inside of myself to be different. But I cannot be. Because the rest of the people is accepting me that way. You are that one. And you cannot change. This is the logic that Jesus wants to break. He's not accepting this. And this works all the time. This is a structure, a psychological structure that works a lot. Why? Because human being is not simple. It doesn't take, we don't need Freud to tell us that ego is complicated. There is conscious, there is unconscious, there is my ego. Freud says there is your superego also. Yes, we are that complicated, that's true. That's why it's difficult for me to really look in my face. We look at the mirror to ourselves every day. But how difficult it is to look inside and to say, oh yes, this is who I am. Because from that point on, yes, then you can change. If you thoroughly accept who you are, then you can change. This is not my sentence. This is the sentence of an American psychologist, Carl Rogers. Yes, he said that. If you don't accept yourself as you are, you cannot change. But if you do, yes, That is the start point. When you and God can help you to be who you are meant to be. And this is what we call vocation. To realize your vocation, first of all, you need to know who you really are.